And now we're going to move into our second strategy. So, this is talking about gratitude. And we're really going to look at using gratitude practice and a systemic gratitude practice to deepen psychological safety, meaning, and impact for both individual people on our team as well as kind of that collective meaning and impact on our team. And there is so much research out there that tells us that a really good gratitude practice, both from a personal perspective and a systems perspective, can go a long way in benefiting how we feel not only about ourselves, but also just how we feel and perceive the world around us. So gratitude has been in the news a lot over the last few years. It's probably a buzzword that you've been hearing a lot. And let's really hone in on like what is gratitude though? It is really the combination of two things. So the first one is simply noticing goodness. And the second component is recognizing that that source of goodness is outside of yourself. So something good is happening in the world that you did not contribute to, but you get to kind of acknowledge it and be part of it, which is great. And the combination of these two things, noticing goodness and recognizing that it's outside of you, kind of brings in what the research calls a sense of awe and wonder about our world. And that really helps kind of prime us or increase our readiness for gratitude. And there has been a lot of research around the benefits of gratitude practices. And it's pretty clear that when folks consistently practice gratitude, we are happier and more satisfied with how life is going in general. We also have the benefit of increasing connectedness with our peers, our colleagues, and just the people in our lives around us. And there's also some external benefits in addition to those internal benefits. So we end up being more generous and helpful humans in the world. Noticing goodness brings in a sense that we are helpful and contribute to that goodness in the world that we're seeing and perceiving around us. So as a result of this, we find there is a decrease of stress and conflict in your own personal life. And similar to the way that everyone kind of manages and perceives stress differently, everyone likes to receive and respond to gratitude differently as well. So this leaves us with a few different ways to show gratitude. And we're going to walk through 4 different strategies that you can bring back to your site and share with your colleagues to help kind of that systematic approach to gratitude. So the first strategy that we have is public recognition. So that looks like you like people to speak up in a team meeting and acknowledge your strengths or your contributions, right? You like to get a shout out in a newsletter or be touted in front of some of your colleagues. It also might look like you like being tagged on social media by your friends and family, right? Very public facing. The next strategy that we have is private recognition. So some of you might like a note or a card on your desk or in your workspace from someone that's appreciating you and showing you gratitude. You also might like a text of appreciation from a colleague, right? You might not like the big shout out at an all staff meeting, but a one-on-one thank you or piece of gratitude during like a one-on-one meeting might be more your speed. We also have the next one is notes or gifts. So that looks like writing letters of gratitude to your loved ones, maybe sending food to teachers, or leaving a big tip for your wait staff. And the last strategy for gratitude is acts of service. So these are really just things that make your life or your job easier. And this could be something like making copies for a colleague or emptying the dishwasher for your partner, right? So it's anything that's going to make your life easier, either personal or professional. And we've talked about how to show gratitude, but I want everyone to pause and think about how you like to receive gratitude. And we're going to do a little mini assessment here using the chat. So what is your preferred way to receive gratitude? Are you a person that appreciates an act of service, like unloading the dishwasher? Or are you someone that loves a large kudos in a group meeting? What is your preferred form? And it could be multiple forms too. So go ahead and put those in the chat. See, it depends. I like all four, right? Sometimes you're just like, recognition in any form is great. I like a brand new car. I do too. So that nice gift, right? Private recognition, acts of service and a no, right? Something to make my life easier on a day-to-day basis is fantastic. Somewhere between public and private, right? I like two of them. I like four of them. Recognition of all times, all types. Words of affirmation being your love language, right? So you'll accept any type of recognition. Wonderful. So as you can see, folks on this, even on this call, have different ways that they prefer to receive gratitude. And if you're interested in creating a practice of gratitude for your site, you can check out our toolkit, which is where you will learn about different strategies. You can assess your staff on their preferred style of gratitude. And, I really think it's important to honor everyone's preferred source of gratitude because it can be sometimes really uncomfortable for people if they are receiving gratitude in a way that they do not like to receive gratitude. So, for example, if someone does not like to receive public gratitude, like a shout out at an all staff meeting or putting, their name and their contribution into like a big company wide thing, it can be really uncomfortable. It could actually cause them stress, right? And for example, for me, I am not a gifts person. So if you give me a gift as a form of gratitude, I then get really stressed. I'm like, oh, I need to reciprocate. And when am I going to go to the grocery store? And when am I going to have time to like do all that? So it kind of adds more things to my to-do list to then figure out what do I do with this gift. So when you're thinking about gratitude, we don't want to add more stress to that person's plate, right? That's kind of the opposite of what we want to happen with a gratitude practice. So really making sure that if you're implementing that kind of system-wide gratitude practice at your school or your department, understanding how your colleagues like to receive gratitude is really important. And then coming up with some mechanisms that staff could give gratitude and give some examples of how you could do that in your school, in your office, right? So if you are interested in that, feel free to go and check out our gratitude toolkit. We'll have the links, like I said, at the end of the presentation, so don't worry about it right now.